as we look at the nervous system this month, we would do well to also consider the skeleton. Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Minke. This is Minke Wellness. As we approach the nervous system from a wellness perspective, we need to understand that some of the main nervous system, which is the brain and spinal cord, is housed inside this skeleton, right? We've got inside the skull and inside the spine, and the condition of the spine is going to affect the nerve flow. It's going to affect the function. So we need to talk about structure and posture as it pertains to the nerve flow associated with the brain getting the message out to the body through, from the brain down the spine, which is right here up at the neck, and then of course from the spine out. And so all of that has to do with the condition of the spine for nerve roots, the cerebral spinal fluid. Inside the brain, there's the fluid that bathes the brain, and that's the skull plates all move, they flex. Okay, the skull is not fused. You have all these sutures, okay, but these sutures are just like little mini complex joints. So they actually flex, they actually oscillate. And if they don't, it affects the fluid, how the fluid flows and pumps around the brain. Well, this is extremely important for the health of the brain and the spinal cord. Like I said, there's a big, mentioned in the overview, there's a saran wrap kind of material that covers the brain and keeps the fluid in. So it's a separate fluid system. We have really a third fluid system. We have the blood, the lymph, and the cerebral spinal fluid. And this is this blood-brain barrier, right? This is where the fluid is not just free to move from the brain all the way out. Okay, so the cerebral spinal fluid flows down the spine, supposed to go all the way down to the sacrum. So perhaps you've heard of cranial sacral therapy, which is, it works all the way through the spine and works to open up the literal fluid channels, the flow of fluid through here. And of course that brings nutrients and repair molecules and mechanisms into the spine and the nerves and all that. So it's very important for the health of the whole system. And like I said, the condition of the actual spine itself, right? If I've had a neck injury, especially if I've had an injury up at the very top, atlas axis is first two vertebrae. If I have an injury up here and I can't get nerve flow past this point, well, then it compromises everything. We could have all kinds of overall systemic problems, muscle weakness. We could have, fatigue. We could have all kinds of problems when this isn't right. So chiropractors are going to like me for today's video. But so we need to get this opened up. And while there's probably a lot of videos out there that you can, kind of look at for exercises for opening up the spine, I'm going to show you a few things that we're going to combine with breath just to help loosen us up. Now, if you've got some, soothing oils like peppermint, wintergreen that you can put on these tight muscles back here, lavender oil, soothe, rub it in and soothe the muscles. Doing that on a regular basis is just going to be a good idea. So that's easy. You've got self-massage. If you've been doing my program this year, you know that I've been talking a fair amount about self-massage, and this would be a great place to make sure getting back here and just doing small circles on these muscles that are right back in here, and that's a great way to kind of open this up and you can, I don't know if you feel the crunchies. I can hear the crunchies back here for me. Okay, so if you've been in a car accident at all, thrown from a horse, any kind of these, more high velocity impact type things, you've probably got trauma up here in the neck that could use some soothing out. So this is something now what I'm going to show you also is we did this video, and I'll post the link in the description, we've done a video on arcing, and Judith Aston of Aston-Patterning fame, Aston, understands the body in ways that no one else has seemed to come up with. She's, people have come up with pieces of it, but not as completely understood as she does this biomechanical model. And so you really need to look into her stuff, and I'll post a link to some of these videos, or give her website, which is astonkinetics.com, ASTONKINETICS.com. So kinetics, astonkinetics.com. She's got videos on what you can do to how to use your body, how to become more aware of your body. Amy and I are both certified Aston-Patterning practitioners, and this is the paradigm from which I'm coming from, a structural model, and it's amazing. It's awesome stuff. So okay, so what she teaches is what's called arcing, and I've gone through this before, so I'm going to start with just the head, but basically the pelvis, as I breathe, right, if I exhale, the pelvis rolls backward, the whole body goes into a slump, right, like this. As I inhale, the pelvis starts with a tip forward, to get a little curve in the low back, but you tip forward, inhale, and it lifts up the chest, and so they'll become more up like this, extension, right, here we are, extension, flexion, extension, flexion. So this is, where I'm showing you on a skeleton, but this is the pathway that the spine naturally goes in connection to breathing. This process of flexion, extension, flexion, extension, as a natural part of the breath, lubricates and opens the spine. So we get this wonderful internal massage that you almost really can't get to. My fingertips cannot reach the innermost layers of the spine, right? I can't get into here, but your movements can get into here. So learning how to do this can really open up the spine, can open up the nerve flow, can open up pathways, and of course you know that you have different nerve bundles that will pass through the armpit. This, the brachial plexus, will pass through over here, and so if all this gets tight, it affects your hands go numb, or your feet go numb if the lumbar plexus. So this is really critical. Okay, so I'm going to show you just a little bit about what we can do this arcing just from the head perspective. So if I sit and I have my pelvis slightly more forward, which is to say I scooch my hiney back in my chair, right? And then I'm going to show you just on the side. And so if I exhale, my head's going to go down. If I inhale, my head's going to go up, right? So this is inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And so my head can start to do this little neck arcing, okay? And I'm just going to do it from the neck, because I really want to focus on this top joint right here, right? The atlas axis, the very top joint. I want to make sure at least that is open, okay? And if we can get that aligned and open, that kind of sets the tone for the whole rest of the nervous system as it travels through the spine. So I'm going to breathe in and feel the weight. Now this takes a lot of practice and skill at some level, but I'm going to feel the weight of my skull, which is about an 8-pound ball, on the top and on that joint. So I'm breathing in and just pausing on the top of the inhale, and feel the skull settle on the top, and then I'm going to exhale, and again I'm allowing the flexion, extension at the top of this joint with the inhale, exhale. So inhale, rest, and I'm kind of moving back and forth to kind of feel that where I can get some massage, and I can continue to work on this. I can rub in. I love this combination of peppermint and wintergreen. Very, very soothing. You have other blends like Cool Azul and Panaway and Deep Relief. These are all, I can just put a few dabs of essential oil. I'm talking about, a few drops of each of these, and then run it along here, and just it's an enhancement to the massage. You can feel the tingle, you can feel the cooling of the peppermint, the tingle of the wintergreen, and I'm just gonna massage that, into this part back here. I don't know if you can see that, but massaging that back in here, and then again I'm gonna do so. Just opening that up, and then inhale, exhale, and again I'm feeling the weight. The head, my head is massaging that joint. It's the weight of my head that's actually, because I cannot get my fingertips inside that joint. Probably a good thing. But my head has weight, and massage is basically weight in motion. When I do massage, it's my weight in motion that's doing the massage. So I can actually massage the inside of that joint with the weight of my head. Now, when you get good at this, you can get the weight of your head and the first vertebrae into the second vertebrae, and then all the way down, so that I can actually use my body weight into my spine to massage inside that joint. And if you, like I said, you really get good at this, you can actually open up your whole spine with this technique called arcing from Judith Aston. Okay, so just introducing you to that concept. Those of you who are what we call body geeks, we love feeling the body. We like getting into the body. An exploration of the spine and the nervous system, the connection between those two with breath and arcing would be an entire day workshop that you could do and just spend that time with that. But I'm not going to go through all that. Really introducing the concept here of using some massage, focusing on the atlas axis area, the first two vertebrae, and getting that nerve pathway to open. Now, one more breath would be, once we do a little massage, get this opened up. Now, I'm going to breathe that pathway, that nerve path. I'm going to use my inhale, come back. I'm going to use the direction of the inhale to travel back into the spine itself here, into the brain and down, because I want to get past this joint here. So I'm going to feel the nerve pulse, the energy of the nervous system, the brain sending the message out, and then I'm going to breathe that message back up to the brain, get it past this point here. So feel the electrical, feel the information, the electricity of the brain, and then breathe that and follow it down the spine. Just get it past here. Don't worry too much about the rest of it, but just feel it in the neck. Most of us are blocked here for nerve function, so doing a little breathing, imagining that open up. Now imagine the information flowing back. We got to have information flowing in both directions, from the brain out to the body and the body back into the brain. And this is a key area. This is a key component of that process. So we're going to start right there. Breathing the information out, that flow out, down the spine. Now breathe that flow back up into the brain from the spine. So with every inhale, I'm going to breathe past that. So I'm just opening up the neck. Those of you who've had any kind of neck injury or trauma, this is a really good little series of breathing to do. Use some oils, use some breathing, do a little bit of the weight in motion of your head, okay? So just something to work on this month as we open up the nervous system. Happy wellness, one day at a time.